Hello my friends, welcome back to A Common Touch of Fantasy. My name is Paul, and today we are reviewing Trigger Warnings by Neil Gaiman. This is a collection of short stories. This was the newest collection of his. Previously I read Fragile Things. I have yet to read Smoke and Mirrors. This was a decent short story collection. It wasn't as good as Fragile Things in my opinion. I thought there were a lot of throwaway stories or throwaway flash fiction type stories. Not everything was really long enough, and I'm not really a huge fan of these like 3 or 4 page stories. But there were a few in here that I liked, and let's talk about those. So my favorite stories were The Things About Cassandra, which is a story about a guy that makes up an imaginary girlfriend when he was a kid, but later in life his friends ends up meeting her, and then he ends up meeting her too. The Truth is a Cave in the Black Mountains. This is a story about an individual that is wanting to find this cave that has this gold in it, but needs someone to lead him there, and it's very stressful because you don't know if people are going to turn on each other or people are going to backstab each other. It's pretty good. The Man Who Forgot Ray Bradbury. This is a small, shorter story about a guy that just cannot remember Ray Bradbury, and he keeps talking about how it's so important to remember all these books and all these authors so that in the future if something happens to these books that people can then recite it, just like in Fahrenheit 451. And it just really made me think of how important Bradbury is and how important Fahrenheit 451 was. Click-Clack the Rattlebag. This is a very short story that's a little bit creepy about a guy that is being led by this creepy little kid. It was fun. I liked it. Nothing O'Clock is a surprise for me. I did not know there was a Doctor Who story in this, and this is a Doctor Who story that the Matt Smith's Doctor was. I forget what number that is, with Amy and Rory, and this is very good, and I had a lot of fun reading that. It makes me want to actually read more Doctor Who fiction because I thought this was great and it can only get better. The Sleeper and the Spindle is a fairy tale story about these dwarves that go to this kingdom that's asleep, and they have to try to figure out how to awaken everyone before the curse of everyone being asleep travels to their own kingdom. And then Black Dog is a story with Shadow from American Gods, and I found that I've liked the American Gods novellas and short stories a lot more than I actually liked American Gods itself, because I liked the character of Shadow. I just didn't really care that much for the plot in American Gods at times, but maybe it's time for a reread. But anyways, I was a little disappointed in this, but there were good things in here, so you can't be too disappointed. Thanks for watching, guys. This was a review of Trigger Warning by Neil Gaiman. I will see you guys next time for another review. Have a great afternoon.